Yeah, sorry. You were saying something?
Yeah, I was just saying that I started recording. That's fine.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
So, guys,
Yeah,
today
tell
here
me.
we have with us Mr. Siddarth Sabapathy sir. He also taught me for a while. And he's from CFCI and from Sporko also, right, sir?
Yes, yes.
Can you just give a little intro about what CFCI
No, no.
does?
Sure. Sure, I'll do that. No problem. First is before starting, I just wanted to know what exactly is the channel about? What you do? Channel
I
name?
think I just started it because one of my friends was starting a blog about cars, and one of my friends liked football. So we used to talk about the game the whole day, everything. So I thought, why not start a channel
Okay.
celebrating football? And now I'm just starting
Okay.
a series and podcast because I wanted to know more about Indian football and grassroots from people actually
Okay.
who are doing some work there. So I thought no better way to
Sure.
do it than utilize the same videos in the blog. And I can also talk to people who are, doing the grassroots level work.
Great. Good to know about that. Yeah. Very good. Very good to know about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, is my voice audible or is
It's
there
audible.
any?
It's audible. It's audible. Yes.
It's
Perfectly.
audible. Okay. All right. Okay. Fine. So, see, basically, Sporko is a football academy which is based across western suburbs in Mumbai. So we train kids from age categories 5 years to 18 to 19. At the same time, Sporko also is a sports management company where we do events, leagues, organize tournaments for various stakeholders in the sport. For example, like corporates or like associations, or whoever wants our help and support, we're always there to help and support. As a company, we are also doing various other activities. We provide in-school training also. We provide after-school training. We work with schools. We work with athletes. How they can better themselves, give them a proper uh, progression pathway. A lot of other things. And Community Football Club India is a football club that has got teams in different divisions of the Mumbai District Football Association. So we've got a team in the third division, second, first, super, elite. We also had a team in the Indian Women's League. So across different divisions and different leagues, we participate. The idea or objective of Sporko basically, or CFCI, if you say, basically is create a sporting ecosystem in India. We want more and more people to come out and play.
You want to increase the
Be it make
culture,
it
right?
a correct, increasing the culture. So our intention or our vision is to have at least about as many people across various age groups come out and play. That's all. Whether they take it recreationally or whether they want to take it professionally. We will ensure that they get that kind of a support. We also have our own turfs. We have one turf in Borivali, one in Makola, where we have a pay and play model where kids and anyone come out and play football or cricket or whatever sport they wish to play. Ideally, since we all come from a more football background, you can see in terms of our passion, all of our passion lies in the game of football. So most of us, want to promote football as a sport. So hence we started off with football as the core sport. Said that, obviously I worked in volleyball too. I've worked in the volleyball league. I've worked with an edtech company. I'm still working with an edtech company called Sporko, which upskills people into sports.
Pardon. I couldn't hear the last one.
I said along with this, I also work with a company called Sporko, which is sporting jobs, where we upskill people or upskill people who want to be part of sports ecosystem and help them to find jobs. So that is called Sporko, which is sporting jobs. That there as well, I'm a part of that company too. So as I said, my intention personally is about uh, building a culture for sport, as you rightly pointed out, Omkar. It's about getting a culture for sport, getting as many people as possible to come out and play, and trying to build a culture where we have a culture for cinema, we have a culture for food, we have a culture for music. Likewise, I think we should also have a culture for sport, and that's what we are trying to kind of inculcate through uh, whatever we do here at Sporko, whatever we do at CFCI. That's the intention. And of course, I will not say that we have achieved great or we have achieved it all. We are still learning a lot. We are still going through the journey. There are a lot of limitations when it comes to India as a sporting nation, but we're trying to find solutions. And of course, many of the kids have now started to play football and they started to enjoy it. Now, again, the question comes is, you know, uh, uh, they want to start winning now competitions and excellence and all of those things as well. So we're all trying to push, we're trying to learn, we're trying to build ourselves again. Yeah.
And sir, as you package the sport better, more people want to play it. If you package sport like the PPL, you made a really great, in Dubashi, I could see that there was something going on there actively related to football. So, and that's because of
Correct.
PPL. Yeah. And so you said Raynier
Yeah.
Fernandes played in PPL.
Yeah, he did play in PPL for about 2 years. Raynier did play. He was in Parle FCT. Yeah, so Raynier used to play. Raynier played. We had Melroy who played now with Chennai FC. There is a lot of players who were in the ISL right now who had somewhere played. Some had come to watch the game. The Jayesh had come to watch the game. Ashu had come to watch the game. All of those guys had come to watch. Ashutosh Mehta, Jayesh Sani had come to watch the game. So
yeah. You have arranged PPL, and how many teams are there?
So, see, Parle Premier League we started in 2011 and we did it till 2018. 19, 20, 21 we have not done the league because 2021 of course it was pandemic. 1 year we couldn't do the league because there were some other issues that were happening on the ground and other things. So 7 years which we did the league, 7 to 8 years which we did the league. So every year the team's participation kept on rising because it was basically based on an ownership format. There were owners for every team. So of course, whenever we decided we want to increase the franchises, but what we did was we created 2 divisions, Premier League and Championship. So Premier League where the top teams played and Championship where the the teams that were relatively lower costing teams basically. So top teams around 8 to 10 teams played in the Premier League. The cost was higher, everything was higher, and bottom the second division where teams which were the cost was low, and players who wanted to learn football or were not that really good at football used to play normally in the second division. So that it was fun, that the level of football in both was, I would not say equal, but at the same time it was intense nevertheless.
It was like a small simulation of what the actual league seemed like.
Tough to say that because obviously the actual league becomes quite huge. But this is of course a fun, exciting thing. So if you have seen things like the sevens that happen in Kerala or anywhere else, or it's not on those lines I would say, but it's very similar because you have that sort of a structure around crowd coming in right on your face and you have to perform, and you are there in front of everyone. So obviously there is pressure to perform, and there is that excitement as well. You need to score goals, and it's fun. End of the day, see, the thing is, what we are doing right now, what we are failing to understand is sport first has to, unless and until you're not playing at a national or an international level, where it is you're playing for the country or you're playing for your state or your district, where it becomes a lot on stake. Other than that, if you're playing on a turf or you're playing with your friends, first thing is fun. You got to enjoy, got to come there, score goals, have fun. You have to, have that competition and intensity also, but at the same time, it should be fun. And it should be equally balanced also. For example, I cannot have international level players playing with recreational level players and expecting the recreational ones to perform. It can't happen. They'll struggle. So you got to have right amount of talent. So that's what VPPL managed. Somewhere we had if you had a Raynier but you also had a Melroy, if you had someone else who couldn't play but you also had someone other also who couldn't play. So it was somewhere I had someone in the other team who was matching my skill levels. At the end of the day, it was a very evenly contested kind of a thing. So that is also matter. That also matters a lot.
But I mean, these leagues are crucial because when Raulin played in, sorry, not Raulin, Raynier played in the league, did you know he would reach this level? When you could see some parts of the talent of the people, but it's tough to just look at a person and tell whether he's going to succeed later. No?
Yeah, of course. I mean, and then he played the league as everyone. I remember in the final, Parle FCS and SCS, people had come in only to watch Raynier play in the final. So they were telling me that, of course, his talent was very evident, but we really didn't know what level he would reach because nobody had actually gone the journey or the distance amongst us. So we had seen someone finally reach there. I would say, but it's been his hard work. I mean, the league is just a platform. So league has nothing to do with his success. So we never say, okay, the league takes credit for his success. The league will never take credit. It's his hard work. It's his
just a stage for
determination.
The players.
It's just a stage for the players. Yeah, you're right. It's just a platform. So at the end, it's all his hard work. It's what he's done. He's gone to Air India. He's played with Mumbai City. Wherever he's gone, it's been his hard work. So end of the day, the league was just a part of what his journey was.
Like scouts and other scouts to scout players, because scouts must be, means these leagues must be the only way scouts can scout for players.
Yeah. So obviously, leagues are one way that you can scout for players. Association matches are one way you can scout for players. School tournaments are one way you can scout for players. There are various ways in which you can scout for players. And I mean, you can just even scout for a player walking down a Maidan and you see someone play, and you can just scout a player. You see he's a good player, you can take him in your club. See, but the thing at the end of the day is scouting is just the first step. Secondly, the player has to have the will. He has to have the commitment. He has to have the commitment to play. He needs to have the ability, more than the ability, to perform at the highest level whenever he reaches there. So a lot of things matter. It's just not about scouting. Scouting is just the first step. So you scout the right players, but at the end of the day, if you don't have the right coach, if you don't have the right setup, that also going to matter.
Yeah. And sir, I mean, what do you think lacks in India's framework? Because I don't know if you've seen this, but there is a channel called Copa 90, makes beautiful documentaries. Copa 90 and DW Kickoff, Deutsche Welle Kickoff. So they make great documentaries. And from that, I just I binge watched them and I loved them. But the frameworks in other countries are so well defined. Or let's say I watched a series on Carlos Tevez, and it's so well defined. They have a defined path. Go to this club, go to local club. There will be a scout there who will pick you up for a better club. They will have selections, or you keep trying. It's like studies for them, sir.
Yeah. See, the thing is, I would say, abhi nahi rahega, lekin we are heading towards a good direction. I mean, it's as I said, if there are two ways, right? One, we say I want to promote Mumbai India football. A second is to get in and they're actually promote. So see, basically, I would say we are in the right direction. It will take time. Obviously, if one talks about supporting Indian football or promoting Indian football or wanting to develop it, you have to get into it. So when I started the league, I was in 12th standard with my friend, and we also discussed the same thing. We should promote football and we should help. There is no structure. But then yes, we did the league. So at the end of the day, it's about if you really want to support and we run an academy now. So we really wanted to do that, and we are following our passion more than the passion. Is just that, of course, we've had support from home and our parents and everyone. They've been very kind enough to allow us. But more than that, it's about if you really want to do it.
Oh, you just have to speak about doing it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we can speak about it all day. Indian football is not improving, or there is no structure, or there is no scouting system. But if you really want to do it, go ahead and do it. And people today want to say, okay, I want to promote football, but then will I get a good salary at the end of it, or will I get a secured package at the end of it? You may get. I'm not saying you will not get, but it's just that you may not get it at the start. You have to start working first. You have to start putting in your efforts, and then it may succeed.
Also, sir, people don't even watch matches. ISL bhi koi dekhta hai. Nobody even watches the league. How can they say they support?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So if you want to say I want to be a good singer and you don't want to first practice singing, and then you become a singer, then you start practicing, then you sing for a movie or a album, and then you get money for it. So it's a big process. Likewise in sports also. First you work in sports, understand sports. I see many people saying sports market in India is that. So I'll tell you, for example, basic things, right? In India, for example, the cost of training for a year would be some 25,000 to 30,000 maximum for a year. You want to train, play matches, practice and everything. People in the age category 16 and plus would say, who would pay 25, 30,000 for football? But if you see their normal lifestyle for food, for going to say a club or a disco, or maybe even when they want to play for foreign training, they may end up paying 75, 80, 1 lakh rupees also. So, for example, if they say want to go to a stadium and watch a game or do things there, they may pay 1 lakh outside of India for watching a. But when it comes to India, they don't want to do that. They don't understand that that's the problem. It's very difficult to find people above 15, 16 who are ready to support what's happening in India. That kind of support is required. But below 15, 16, of course, parents are there who support. But above 16, I would say that it's the same cost. Today, people say Indian sports market has not improved because people are not ready to spend in the Indian sports market. If you're ready to consume things in the Indian sports market will also improve. If you're ready to buy a Nivea shirts over a Nike
abuse
shirt,
the people, if you abuse the people, and if you abuse the market, whatever, and you don't do anything about it, then the market will not be better.
exactly. So if you buy a Nivea shirts over a Nike shirts, things are going to. So I mean, if you are going to consume Indian products, so today if you see, if I tell you I want to buy which shirts, everybody will say Nike or an Adidas because they are not comfortable with Indian brands. But Indian brands are also working hard to provide good quality stuff. So maybe buy a Nike one, but alongside buy a Nivea one also. Maybe Nivea also makes some money. That money will come into sports again. So you need people to purchase things, people to support. Like you said, watch the ISL, support clubs, support local teams, support Mumbai City FC, support FC Goa.
I did watch it before. Then I went to the diaspora, all the people on YouTube, all the online community, which is really strong this year. I saw on Twitter, on YouTube, there are many people making videos, making tactics about Indian teams, and it's just talked about so much now that I felt maybe I have to do something in it too. And that's why I'm taking these interviews so that my friends also watch this stuff and then they get to know more about India instead of, Arsenal getting thrashed for.
The first thing is, Omkar, I think one basic thing you can always do is maybe arrange a screening, right? With people who could be arrange a small screening, right? At a friend's place or where the matches are, and call them and make them watch a game, and tell them that this is how games are. Have a look. What is going on? What are your thoughts? Something like that on those lines.
And the reactions won't be good because my friend and I, we tried to watch the national team's games, and to be honest, it didn't feel that great. But what can you do? Abhi desh hai to hai. You have to continue.
Yeah.
It gets better. Yeah, and sir, also COVID gave a big hit to the ISL. At least that's what I could see.
Absolutely. Hit in a wrong way. But, yeah.
But sir, no, obviously sports will have a hit. Like that's the place which will be hit the worst by COVID. But how bad was the hit? Like, did CFCI, get less students, or how did you manage in the last 2 years? How did CFCI manage? Did they open in between? Had it completely stopped? What was the case?
Yeah. So just 1 second. I'm just rejoining. Just give me one.
Okay.
All I had to attend to. Yeah. I've been thinking to regular this because actually it's when it's Tuesday now.
I can't hear.
So yeah, what I was saying was, yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. So nothing. So what I was trying to tell you was basically about the fact that it's important that if you can arrange some screenings. Which standard are you in right now? Which course? 12th or first year?
I can't hear you, sir. Can you speak louder? I can't hear you.
What are you studying right now? What are you studying?
I'm studying engineering. I go to first year engineering now.
First year.
Yeah.
So as I said, if you can have people come together, you can have your friends come together, watch a game. Pandemic and everything, but if a pandemic is not there, or now I think everything kind of is open up as well, so people can meet up and watch a game. That's maybe one way you can contribute to getting people together. Other way you can contribute is go and develop the community through sport, right? Observe there are small kids who are playing. Go and try to teach them. Try to, if you see a small kid is playing at the Bashi ground, Parle, for example, where there are a group of 10 kids playing, but they don't know the rules. Go and explain them the rules. Go and explain them how they can play better, be better footballers. Create maybe a small tournament for them. Put 2 goal markers or goals, and you can give them a small ball, give them some. See, it's very small thing, but all these things matter to build a better culture. And people say, what I can do? Don't worry about Indian football. Don't worry about world football. So see, they are all very big things. What we can worry about is what we have in our hand. This is our local area where we belong to. Okay, if you have a lot of time in your hand, you want to devote yourself to football forever, then you can think about Mumbai football or Indian football. But I would say, Indian football is very huge. India is such a big country with such different demographics, caste, creed, color. So many people coming from different backgrounds, so diverse in itself. So it's very difficult when we think about India. What challenges the Northeast faces? what challenges the Northeast faces, this is what challenges South India faces, this is what challenges West faces, this is what challenges Central East. Everything is so different. And if you see the football which Bengal play, which the football which Goa plays, the football which Maharashtra plays, so one we have to understand is what we can do is change what we have in our. So whoever is watching this or whoever you are in touch with, only thing I can say is try to do whatever you can do in your own area, develop your area. Maybe you want more and more parents to come out and support football. So maybe you do a small education seminar with parents, make them aware about the game. Or maybe you all find ways to sponsor the best player in your area. Maybe he's a player coming from a poor financial background and he requires 10, 50,000, 20,000 a year. Maybe 40 people can come together and put 500 rupees and he can become a better footballer. See, these are all small things you can do. If you cannot put in money, you can find someone who can put in. Maybe one of your friends' father, maybe a senior rank management executive in some company. He may have some contact. He may look to get a sponsor. You have to work together. Then only things will happen. When we did the Parle League, many young people came in and worked together. They actually led me to sponsors. They said, I know someone who can sponsor this. I know someone. Then I went and approached companies. See, it all has to be. It is a lot of hard work, but more than that, it is a lot of your own self-will and determination that happens. So if you have the self-will and determination,
try something once and then give up. You have to be consistent.
Sorry.
Means you said that you have to keep on your determination, and that's what matters, right?
Yeah.
So you have to keep on actively doing something. You can't just try and then give up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And keep doing and keep trying, and things will happen. That's what happens. And if you're based out of Parle, and if you all want to do something in football, I'm just a call away. We are based in Parle. You all can meet us anytime. We are always ready to help, support in whatever way. And we need people to come out. We need youngsters to come out and help us. There are so many things that keep happening. We need volunteers. We need support. And, again, many people come to me and they say, oh, football, how much will I get to pay and all of these things. I don't know. It's difficult. See, the thing is, we're still in a stage where it's difficult to make a career in sports, but at the same time, it's not worse. It's becoming better. So if really you want the next generation to make career in sports, this generation has to do something.
It has to ask you that the sort of legacies they have, like in Man U, let's say in London, family supports Arsenal through the generations, or like Manchester. Can we have that in 1 or 2 generations, or does it seem still
100%? 100% we can have. Provided we can create it, it's up to us whether we want that or not. We are the first generation. There was a generation before us in 1950s and 60s which used to promote and support football. There was the Rovers Cup and Durant Cup and a lot more in the 60s and 70s. Then football again fell down after the 83 World Cup which India won in cricket. So cricket got a paradigm shift after 83. That was the biggest, you would say, the push for cricket. If you really want football to grow, it is all in our hands, right? This generation, if they are ready to come out and support, and if they're ready to support each other, then this generation can, get in things. So, for example, you may have a friend who would say, "Kai football मध्ये पैसे टाकायचे किंवा काय matches साठी ticket घ्यायचे, free मध्ये ticket दिलं तर मी जाईन." If you can tell him, boss, 100 रुपयाचं ticket आहे, you're going to anyway spend 500 rupees on food. When you go to McDonald's or any other fast food, why not spend 100 rupees on a ticket and buy a ticket? If that can be done, see, today I'll tell you, every person in the world, when it comes to IPL or any other sport, and complete respect to other sports, but are ready to spend when there is a ticket cost. Why only football we would want a free ticket or something that is zero cost? There you spend 100 rupees, 200 rupees, buy a ticket. And if your friend doesn't buy, or if you have someone who doesn't buy, tell them that why it's important that you should spend that 100 rupees. And he's not going to get poorer by that. If there is someone coming from a humble or an underprivileged background, he can get it for free. I can understand. But if someone is going to anyway spend 500 rupees on food or refreshments on a daily or a weekly basis, spending 100 rupees is not going to make him any less poor.
The only way we can make someone else spend is by, convincing them that they are a part of history. So if you convince someone that your club is going to be big one day later, then maybe people will, but or else it's pretty tough to convince.
It's not about the club. It's about the fact that if they want football to grow. If you cannot convince everyone, If someone is there who doesn't like football, you cannot tell him come and watch games. He may not. But I'm talking about people who say, India football, how will we grow? Or people who support, say, United or Arsenal or Chelsea or whatever club. And I support Chelsea, but I would say that I'm not saying it's not good to support a foreign club. You can support your foreign club, whichever you support. They also are, giving you quality football. Why not support? But at the same time, if you really want to see Indian football grow, then these are the steps. It's only for those who want to see Indian football.
You can't go to Manchester every week, but you can go to the local stadium, and that might be the new thing which you like for some reason. It might be a place where you belong. That must
not just there are so many local clubs, right? Like my other club which I already have, like CFCI, or there are other clubs. There are so many other local clubs which are there also, which can be a way, basically. Cool. I have another meeting at 2:15. I have to rush for that, but we will be in touch. We will talk each other even more. I have called another ways as well.
Okay, sir. Yeah, sure.
Surely. But it's good. Thank you, Omkar, for reaching out. And if you are based out of Parle, you can meet us anytime in our office and we can talk even further.
Sure. I'll do another podcast live once COVID.
Sorry?
Can we have a podcast later? Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Whenever you are there, so we have a small space at Hanuman Road only. You can connect with me on message or WhatsApp and we can discuss and we can.
Thank you.